Welcome back, everyone. So last time we killed Brachus Rex, and that pretty much ended this area of the game. We kind of went back to town, just wrapped some things up, and we are now ready to head to Lucula Forest. Go check out the town of Silver Glen. So at the end of last episode, I did some inventory management and sold off a bunch of stuff. I was still a little bit cluttered, particularly my mage's inventory. One thing happened while I was doing that. I ran into a Captain Jack in the town square and finally found work for the 3 sailors. So we at least brought that to a close. I think we have most of the stuff in this area done. The 2 quests that might have more to do here are the lighthouse quest. I'm not sure what to do to resolve that, and the I don't remember what it's called. This one. The guy wonders if his cat is still alive. I think the cat's name was Tom. He crashed near the lighthouse, which would be over here. So I'm not exactly sure where the cat would be, but probably somewhere along like this area, I would think. If it's here, probably is. I don't really want to go run around the whole map and look for a cat though, so let's go to, where is it? Silver Glen Road. And this will be my first time ever going here.
Eternal silence awaits you.
Oh. I was hoping for a rabbit foot. I was just looking at crafting and I was noticing there was some stuff you can make with rabbit's feet. So I was hoping he'd drop one, but I guess that's not how you get it. Oh well, poor Bunny's dead now. Okay.
It surrounds us here, like an invisible mist. Takes cat's eyes to see it creep. Even so, it's plain as day to the east, all about Ikara's cabin. Immaculates beset it, no doubt under Leandra's orders. If she has ordered such thorough defenses of her sister's cabin, we may be certain that whatever lies within will be a prize more precious than butter-baked plaice. That means Ikara herself must be there, Hunter. And it is essential that you find her. Only she can shed light on the details of Leandra's plans. Ha! Zigzags would see you dash rather than mosey. But matters such as these require a thoughtful approach. Leandra and her cronies may be lunatics all, but they're far from brainless. So be wary, Hunter, and be safe.
Okay, we know 2 things. Where the town of Silver Glen is, and where the witch's cabin is. We'll follow the road for now. I imagine that takes us to Silver Glen. Go there, see what kind of quest we get, and then start exploring.
Poor man. It seems he was eaten by a beast.
Well, partially eaten, to be more precise.
Okay, there's obviously something over there. I'll check that out later, I'm sure.
What have you got stashed in here, Mrs. Cottontail?
In the name of the goddess, halt! Who goes there? A wanderer, you say? A lost sheep, perhaps, that has found its flock. The stable of Immaculates. Why, it's Silverglen, of course. Once the abode of miners, now the abode of the faithful. We have traded the search for silver for the pursuit of divinity. I'm sure this sounds strange in what are strangers' ears, but you must know that but a short while ago, a frightful sickness felled us by the dozen, until she who speaks for the goddess brought us a cure. She showed us how we may overcome the frailty and even the decrepitude of our mortal bodies. This is why we now live a life of devoutness and civility, so that we may become immaculate. But I suggest you talk to Father Loik if you want to learn more about the ways of the goddess. Be welcome, therefore, to Silverglen. Blessed be all Immaculates.
The Immaculates here seem
May
to be
the
a
goddess
friendly
guide
enough
you
bunch.
through the forest.
Seen
and
being the
keep you
operative
safe.
word. Let's remain vigilant.
Over here, Hunter. It's me, Ahu. Source Hunter. You've made it into the hamlet of Silverglen, I see. Unnerving spot, don't you find? Leandra has fashioned herself a hero here, but the townsfolk don't seem to know the truth behind the conduit, though they call themselves Immaculates. I've been shadowing the local priest, a man by the name of Loik. I have the feeling he knows more than most in Silverglen, for I've followed him in the night when he meets with cloaked strangers, and goblins even. Mangoth, Hyberheim, of strange things I've heard him whisper. Yes, this priest has shady goings-on written all over that smug, holier-than-thou face of his. But we must start at the beginning, Source Hunter. The White Witch is still at large. If we want to get to the true heart of Leandra's doings, we must start with her sister. And she's far likelier to be in her cabin among the trees than here among Leandra's followers. They're thick as trout, if you ask me, and unnaturally obsessed with ancient teachings. I haven't seen Leandra here myself, but she must have put on quite a show of magical mastery to enthrall a crowd of shaggy miners, to have them hop on the bandwagon of a shadowy religion wholly alien to them. Haven't you heard them whisper of the blood? How their eyes shine when they discuss certain stellar stones? Star stones, of course, which drenched in blood become bloodstones and are used in healing rituals. Now, I can see how it could be a fantastic thing to nurse a dying human back to health, if all it takes is to sacrifice a toad. But I spy bloodlust in these people's eyes. A bloodlust that goes beyond the usual meaning of the word.
So, immunity to burning. That's pretty tempting. I think I'm going to buy this with some of the money we made selling off everything. I have even more stuff to sell off, actually.
They all act like they're following a benign goddess that will lead them to paradise. But I'll be a dappled Dalmatian if any of that is true. The advantage of being a puss, my friend, is that one can pussyfoot. A white-haired wizard draws attention, but a cat can move about unnoticed and, indeed, unseen. Not that I'm not extra wary of these bloodsuckers, though. There's a conspicuous absence of pets in this eerie little town. The Immaculate's presence here is highly disconcerting. But we mustn't lose sight of our mission, Source Hunter. The White Witch resides somewhere in the wilds of the surrounding forest, and we must find her.
The degenerates here claim they have been cleansed, but I can still smell the stink of persisting putrescence wafting from their grimy flesh. Silver Glen, this place sickens me. As you know, I once carried the burden of disease upon emaciated shoulders. Perhaps I had better explain in greater detail. By all means, if you're in the mood for such a dark tale. It went like this, Hunter. If a ghoul I had become, so a dark turn of thought convinced me. A ghoul's methods I should employ to escape the labyrinthian crypt of corporeal corruption. A necromancer I'd be. Yes, only from deep within the deliriums of death would I tunnel my way back into the gardens of life. I did unspeakable things in the dusky dungeons that twist like forgotten veins to long-deceased organs far beneath my castle's sunlit halls. Halls which held my throne and held the bed upon which Heraka slept, her very touch blessing the satin she reposed upon. Still there came no relief. Perversions I created in scores, but they were mere undead all. Creatures so piteous that the thought of cheating death in their guise frightened me more than the swing of the scythe itself. Like mosquitoes in the night, panic and despair beset me until I turned to that darkest of all arts, demonology. It had to be. There was no other way. I could feel the life slipping out of me like love out of a betrayed spouse's heart. So I studied tomes so old the dust that fell from their centuries' unperused pages never knew the light of the stars that now shine. I drew forbidden symbols. I spoke unhallowed words, and from the smoke that rose like a dragon's last breath, a demon appeared to me and said, "Ask, O blighted king, and you shall have." "Just tell me," I cried. "Tell me what ails me." Heraka. Never had I known a single word can cut deeper than the sharpest of daggers. With maddening glee, the demon told me she was one of his kin. A soul-swallowing horror that had been feeding on both my body and my spirit like a leech. An ancient being was she, that moved from king to king throughout the ages, filling their hearts with love, then draining them of life. After such revelations, does one truly desire to live on? Death seemed like a mother then, welcoming me with her all will be well embrace. Yet still I feared exceedingly her seemingly sweet caress, and the oblivion that would follow. Release me from her, demon, and give me back the strength of a sick, free existence. So went my desperate plea. It smiled, of course it did. Smiled bare 100 razors as its eyes came alight with infernal fire. 1,000 years I will give you, it whispered. But then your soul shall be mine to incarcerate in the depths of hellish nemesis. As for your throne, that I'll have now. What say you, O brittle king? Do you accept my terms? I think you know the answer to that question, Hunter. But I've said enough for now. These memories are painful to recollect, so let us turn to the rest of them later. More prey awaits.
Well, well, well. So our very own demon hunter once dabbled in the so-called darkest of arts himself. Neither can I. Clearly his great love was almost the very death of him. She broke his heart in more ways than one, and I too would go to any lengths to repair it.
I didn't realize he also was immune to burning. I forgot about that. That also put him well above 1,000 health. Milestone achieved. I didn't realize how frail our archer was. I guess it's a good thing she...
Bless the seven, I am restored.
She has stench, so at least the melee units avoid her.
Sweet relief.
Beware of the lost ones out there, Wanderer. Their blood is impure.
So we'll go throughout this town and talk to everyone. Hopefully smaller than Sicil.
Welcome be, O seeking souls, to this holy house of Immaculates. I am Loic, enlightened one among Immaculates, spokesman for the holy conduit, as she is spokesman for the goddess herself. Hers is the blood. Then it shall be my pleasure to answer them.
The blood
We are the chosen ones of the goddess. The benedictions of the blood render our bodies and spirits unblemished, for such is her mercy, that we may all become part of the sacred soul. And you too, Seeker, could become one such part. The conduit, yes. She, the most exalted of all, second only to the goddess. It was she who brought us first her divine words, then her divine will, a will made real in blood. Truly, though, she is quite beyond your concern, O wandering soul. She stands so very high above your humble station. The goddess is the light and life of all. Corrupt is the world that generations of men and beasts have left behind, but immaculate it may be once more, cleansed in the blood of the unworthy. The few, the proud, the enlightened, theirs will be her kingdom. When red has run until no red is left, a paradise we will have shapen, and the goddess will dwell among us. You find yourself in the goddess's temple, therefore it follows she wants you to take the true path. So here, have this hallowed tome, read it, absorb the wisdom within, then find the second part and do with it the same. If an immaculate you want to be, A test of knowledge shall be your first step towards enlightenment.
Diligently will I read the words of the
Let me
goddess.
spill blood for thee, O Holy One.
Remember, O brothers and sisters, O seeking souls, the miracles with which the blessed conduit rid our...
The goddess, and blessed
Immaculate,
be
the goddess is the word. Then it shall be my pleasure to answer them. Do you hold it to be true, O seeker, that you are ready to be tested? A most sacred trio of queries shall I put before thee. But even if thou falterest but a single time, unworthy will thou be deemed of the goddess's love.
So I thought he said the book would lead us to find a second book. Could be mistaken.
Blessed
Just
be
find
your
out.
willing spirit. We commence. Premise the first. In honor of the goddess, that which was stellar must become sanguine. Correct?
I don't remember that part.
Give me
That
the
premise
strength.
is correct, actually.
All right, we'll do it your way.
Premise the second. The blood of the greater should be used in service of the lesser so that balance may be achieved. Correct?
Yes, that is incorrect.
I definitely remember that one being
the
incorrect.
third. Only those who have partaken in the spilling of blood and thereby created the stone that lives, the stone soaked with blood, may be called an immaculate. Correct?
I don't actually remember this one.
Agreed, that is correct.
Most gratifying. Oh, yes, most exemplary indeed. You have understood the words of the goddess, and I deem you worthy of her true test, of the true trial that shall make you an immaculate.
diligently
To
will
become an immaculate, you must experience both the goddess's bane and her boon. Leave Silver Glen and take the western path. Follow it to where the winds howl and a great skull looms within the rocks. There you will find it, the hollow and the true trial within. Immaculate guards bar the way, but tell them you have my blessing and they shall let you pass. But take utmost care. The road is beset with horrors, and your mettle will be truly tested before you've even set foot within the goddess's trial. It would behoove you to train in advance of setting upon that treacherous path. I shall await you in the Chamber of Blood.
So close to leveling.
Beware of the lost ones out there, Wanderer. Their blood is impure.
Hello and welcome to our shop. I am the son of the proprietor, Nadia. Please let us know how we can help you. You've probably noticed that my mother Nadia and I aren't from around here. No. We traveled rather far from our hometown to plant new roots here in Silver Glen. My father, Ben, his death was somewhat mysterious, and we've traced the puzzle back to this little settlement. My mother will have plenty to say on that subject, if you're interested. My father was a good man, equal in character to his wife. His death nearly destroyed us, Ma and me. But now we're here, and we won't leave until we've held the proper parties accountable for their role in his death. Ma's a bit intense, to be sure. Set in her ways, but fiercely loyal to the family. Help her out and you've got a friend for life. Cross her, and you'll be better off skipping town. Not that that'll stop her from cursing your line for the next 1,000 cycles of bendis.
Farma Malbenita, a source hunter in Silver Glen. I have traveled mile on top of mile to find help, and now help has, how you say, appeared from skinny vapors. My story? Well, this is no small tale. I think perhaps you will be more interested in the, how you say, the short end of stick. I believe Lawrence, the leader of Mining Guild, tell my husband and many of other workers to mine deadly ore called tenebrium. Lawrence knew that this ore caused rot. Charming name, no? Yet ordered miners to continue. Many men, my Ben among them, become the sickness. And now they, how you say, kick down the bucket. But the sickness, it is not normal. It kills swift and terrible, not unlike Source. My son Sebi and I travel from our home to find truth. But this has proven not so easy. When his father died, Sebi became restless. Being of the age, he joined army and go straight to front line. Though I was nearly old woman, I joined army as healer to be near and look after my boy. There we saw special legionnaire using strange weapon. And this legionnaire soon come to my tent with the same disease that killed Ben. I discovered the tenebrium ore in this weapon. It was the ore that killed them both. I come to Silver Glen to discover truth. And here I find Lawrence, that arrogant man, conducts his business without apologize to any. My sweet little Pomargo Visago, my darling Ben. We got along like, how you say, peas and ferrets. But here there is work, very well paid, in mines, clearing special rock from silver mine. So he leaves Sebi and I to come to Silver Glen. We wait with hearts like stones for some months. And one day we see familiar figure moving with strange steps on path toward cottage. We run to meet him and take him into our arms, but he collapsed at our touch. We help him inside and set him to rest. But he was in terrible condition. Each hour he grow worse, rot so fast we hardly recognize him after 2 short days. He slip away from us, and we bury him with much grief. Exactly this. Please, Source Hunter, you must help me prove that Lawrence made his workers to mine deadly tenebrium. For your help, I offer blessing from my homeland. Se vi mal successos, mi plantos rizzarbo cae tormenti via nepo soggiai branco. translation is difficult, but it means something like, if you fail, I will plant cherry tree and haunt your grandbaby beneath branches. Good luck. I will do my best to give answers, Source Hunter. May Zalmoxis strike him down, the murderer! I have one goal in Silver Glen, to make him share in the suffering he caused. I am certain he has gained from making those miners take the tenebrium. Now I have only to prove it. A terrible disease. It transforms flesh of living into flesh of corpse, while infected person still lives. Arms grow black and heavy, legs grow black and heavy, hair rots from scalp. Cielo helpo min! Oh, what memories I have. I have not found scrap of civilization among these apes. Sebil longs for heaping plate of my famous sire mule, but the local fairs support no fine food, unless squirrel meat inspire you. As for neighbors, well, those cultists would rather sacrifice supper to goddess than eat it. Nothing natural could cause such terrible disease at mere touch. If you ask me, I say dark magic, maybe even source at its root. That foul thing!
Okay, I think that's a pretty good overview of what's going down in this town.
Come hither, sweetheart. Oh, if I had a star for every time you brighten my day, I'd have a galaxy in my hand. You must be a prize fighter. One look at you, and I'm knocked out. Even true love has a price angel face. Luckily for you, that price is but 250 golden coins.
What will happen if I accept this?
Fine. Break my heart. At least I'll go to heaven and see you there. Me? I'm Ramon! I may not be a genie, but rub me right and I'll make your dreams come true. No questions, please. Ramon does not ponder. He does not wonder. He only loves.
Ever shot a bullseye in your sleep? Well, no wonder with your skill book as empty as all that.
Neat, new skills.
Watch where you're going. These beauties will pierce you to the bone. So, do you fancy a trade then? Come now.
I wonder how many strikes this is. It's gotta be at least 2. Put on some bartering gear.
These goblins are worse than the trolls. Half as dumb and twice as mean.
At least they don't have that distinct underside of a bridge aroma.
Better flurry. That sounds fun.
Blood.
Ever shot a bullseye in your sleep? Well, no wonder with your skill book as empty as all that.
So I'm not going to get many master skills that I can learn. Looks like maybe 2. One at level 4 and one at level 5.
Ever shot a bullseye in your sleep? Well, no wonder with your skill book as empty as all that.
So I need to decide between these. Target a corpse or container and make it explode. Flying debris will damage characters around it. Range is 15 meters. I don't know what the AoE is. This one fires 16 arrows in a 45-degree arc. So that's basically just sprays down the whole field. Probably hits just about everyone. Can fork up to 6 times. I'm not sure what that means in regards to this skill. Tough choice. Can't use any of them for a while. But this one's the easiest to use. It doesn't require any special setup. This one requires a corpse or something to blow up. Although it might blow up and then do damage again. It's also cheaper as far as action points go. When I say it might blow up and damage again, I mean like if I hit a oil barrel, it might explode the oil barrel, do fire damage, and then do debris on top of that. Oh, I didn't see this. I should pick that up. And I might go for a shrapnel. I think it sounds a little more interesting. This isn't predicting a ton of damage either. We'll take a risk.
That's quite the valuable gift. Your kindness is a great comfort to me. I'll return this favor at the earliest possible moment.
You dare disturb my ruminations? It must be that you can hardly wait to purchase an ingredient or two for a very urgent recipe. I'll forgive this imposition if you'll make me a generous offer.
I like that all the vendors seem to be centralized.
Oh, dear, dear, dear. You'll hardly impress the conduit with such a clouded look about your eyes. But not to fear, not to fear. I've just the potion for that.
Ah, Oh. You haven't any ale, have ya? Well, never mind for now. What sort of magical relics can I offer ya? Blessed by the goddess they are, each and all.
Is this all the magical skill books? It can't be. There's not fire in here or lightning. No, there's lightning. There's not fire and water. Summon air elemental might be worth it.
Give one of the comfort folk a visit, if you're in the mood. I recommend Ruby for her imagination. But Ramon's fierce as a wildcat, if that interests you.
Come hither, sweetheart, or if I had a star for every time you brighten my day.
quite a fine skeleton beneath that hide of yours, isn't there? Yes, a lovely, sturdy thing. I bet it'll last 100 generations, if treated properly.
Come hither, sweetheart, or if I had a star for every time you brighten my day.
Maybe these are the last two vendors.
Do you believe in the gods, baby? Because you're the answer to all my prayers.
Where the wind blows, the goddess breathes. Where the rivers run, the goddess weeps. How can I connect you to our eternal goddess, my friend?
Interesting ice wall.
Come hither, sweetheart, or if I had a star for every time you brighten my day.
These goblins are worse than the trolls. Half as dumb and twice as mean. At least they don't have that distinct underside of a bridge or other. Better that than reeking of fresh blood.
Come hither, sweetheart, or if I had a star for every time you brighten
Does
my day.
character specifically mean ally, or does that include enemies? That's a pretty interesting skill.
Praise your goddess! I'll pass the trial!
Friend, this is most excellent news. Welcome to the Immaculate Fold.
Yes! I can feel the goddess's finger coursing through my very veins!
Why don't you stay a while, darling? I just know I can take you a while to ride if you let me.
I'm gonna pick up that elemental skill, I think. The summon elemental.
Come hither, sweetheart, or if I had a star for every time you brighten my day.
Ah, thank... Oh. You haven't any ale, have ya? Well, never mind for now. What sort of magical relics can I offer ya? Blessed by the goddess they are, each and all.
I might not. Duration's only 3 turns. Well, I don't know how powerful it will be.
Ah, thank... Oh. You haven't any ale, have ya? Well...
So I can have 3 adept skills. I'm pretty sure I only have 1 adept skill for both of his paths of magic. Let's check real quick. Yeah, 1 and no 2 for this one. So we can get. I can get 2 water and 1 more air. Although I'll be able to get another adept next level after this. At level 5, but that's going to be probably a little ways off. I have enough ways to do lightning damage. I think I want to get the one that lets me swap positions with someone. That sounds way cooler right now. Tornado sounds useful also. Although it's kind of fun to work around the things on the battlefield. Removing it kind of takes away a lot of what makes this game unique. Removes the surfaces from the battlefield, reveals invisible characters, and clears warm, burning, and hasting. Okay, this is a master skill. So I can still get an adept skill on top of that. I'll get this, so I can clear some of those statuses. Oops, bought those with the wrong character. Probably could have saved a few gold.
Goddess greetings, friend. Her greatness gave us fire, her greatness gave us earth, and my savvy brings you spells at the best rate in town. Come, give me your best offer.
Sweetheart, oh, if I had a star for every time you brighten my day, I'd have a galaxy in my hand.
We'll also pick up the air elemental.
These goblins are worse than the trolls. Half as dumb and twice as mean.
At least they don't have
Oh, thank... Oh. You haven't any ale, have ya? Well, never mind for now. What sort of magical relics can I offer?
Okay, we burnt through a fair amount of money, probably like 10 grand. But we had a lot from selling off a bunch of stuff, so we probably won't have to buy any more skills for this area. And hopefully not too much gear, so I think we'll be good on money.
Why don't you stay a while, darling? I just know I could take you a while.
This is most excellent
if
news.
you let me.
Welcome to the Immaculate Fold.
Yes! I can feel the goddess's vigor coursing through my very veins.
Tell me, sweetie, you
Why
had
don't you
someone,
stay a
or you
while,
always
darling?
this
I just know I could take you on a wild ride if you let me.
Tell me, sweetie, you had
So
someone,
close to leveling.
or you always this one?
Why don't you stay a while, darling? I just know I could take you on a wild ride
You
if
believe
you
in the
let
gods,
me.
baby? Because you're the answer to all my prayers. Do you believe in the gods, baby? Because you're the answer to all my...
You there! Back off! Bicky boom! One more step and Bicky boom!
No, don't go! Please help me! That thing is keeping me trapped here! It's crazy! It'll kill me!
Come on. Are you afraid of that pathetic little thing? Show us what you've got.
I'd like to just teleport it with my mage and blow it up over here.
I didn't think you'd be so easily phased. Get it together.
No, we'll do as I say and there's an end to it.
Princess keep her trap shut or Bicky boom! No, folks!
Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you! You saved my life! It was that cur of a Frederick that did this to me. He locked me in here with that ridiculous creature.
Dear me, I need to get out of this room. Yes, I'll go downstairs to catch a breath of fresh air, but do come and talk to me again if you want to hear more about what transpired here. My thanks once more, sweet hero.
Alright, we leveled.
Another piece of trash.
Let's see. Looks like we get an attribute and then abilities. I think it's time for another strength. Might be time for more armor specialist. Let's do armor specialist so we can eventually start ignoring the movement penalty. Oh, let's see, level 2. Yeah, it's 20% per level, so if we can get to level 5, we can ignore all movement penalties from armor. Which means we might want to equip this now. Only downside, it has more armor, but we do have to repair it. Costs a little more to upkeep. We'll lose a little movement still, but not much, I don't think. We'll probably like 1.8 or so. Maybe a little like 1.75. It's not too bad. I think I might want to put an extra one in perception now, then dexterity next time. Or maybe I just need to do dexterity now. Will that decrease the cooldown? Can it be decreased by more than one turn? We'll do perception. That'll give us some accuracy. And crit chance apparently, just 1%. Yeah, we'll do dexterity next time. And for abilities, let's grab expert marksman already. We're gonna want that master slot for when we get to level 12. And can use this book. Okay, I put a 1 point in speed at level 8, so I could put another one at level 10 and get an extra action point each turn. That's going to help me with stuff like teleport. And I think there's another skill. Yeah, Ice Shard. A couple skills that have 7 to use, so I can always cast these now. Don't have to save an action point the previous turn. And I'll go back to intelligence, maybe at a point in constitution here and there. From here on out, I think. And we've got 4 points available. think I want to put one more in pyrokinetic so I can learn fireball, and I'll probably maybe pick up another one later on, another skill, but also things like Avatar of Fire, +2 due to low pyrokinetic, so that'll be cheaper to cast and that'll make it more useful. What is the recommended pyrokinetic level for this though? Oh well, let's go ahead and try that out. Actually, I'll quick save just in case it doesn't work out how I expect it to. Okay, pyrokinetic to level 2. Still have 2 points left, so I'll probably level up one of these two next time. Recommended level 3 pyrokinetic. It's way too many action points to actually be useful. Okay, I don't think leveling up pyrokinetic further is really that hopeful. Because then I'd really need to invest it up to level 3 to make Fireball any use at all, and even then it's still a really expensive spell. So what would I want to put points in? I'm still curious if two-handed would increase my crit chance on this ability. I'm gonna Google that real quick on my phone just to see if there's an answer, because I don't know how to check that mechanic. Okay, I think people are saying that it does work, but it's not really worth it damage-wise. So what does that leave me with that's worth investing in? Crafting. I think I have more crafting gear though. No, I don't actually have crafting gear, but haven't really needed more crafting yet, so I'll ignore that. Willpower will be good. I think I'll just go and do Arrow Third so I'm ready for this, and I don't forget to get it in time. Okay, I forgot what that lady's name is, but let's find her. Is it Marissa?
Oh, you startled me. Let me compose myself. Hello, stranger. How can I help you? He will? But that means he's... Oh, no. Oh, not my cutie, broody buttercup.
Well, I guess they were right for each other. Wow, she's loaded. That must be from his will.
Oh, my hero! My heart is still racing. That little monster's face haunts me every time I so much as blink. Bonnie's my name, and I am, or rather I was, a lover for hire. Folks would come to me when they were in need of some company, conversation, and more intimate desires. But this fiasco has put an end to it. I'll never set another foot into a client's room, not on my life. Yes? Search me. He's a regular of mine, with rather eccentric tastes, I might add. He always wants me to wear a grey wig, for example, and walk with a cane. But I digress. Anyway, he recently spent the night again, and I couldn't sleep because of his muttering. He talked something awful all through the night. In the morning, I told him he had gone on and on about some Meridino character and a supposedly secret treasure lair somewhere in the woods. Next thing I knew, he flew into a rage. Said the treasure was his and his alone, and that I was nothing but a meddling care. I was just about to let him know I won't stand for such language when he pulled that monster of a bicky out of his satchel and told the little gnome to guard the princess and to go boom if I tried to escape. I spent hours of horrid fear up in that room until you saved me. Nothing much, I'm afraid, but go ahead. I'll answer what I can. I used to, you know. Merchants came and went. They paid well and gave me gifts. Fewer and fewer of them travel here now because of the undead around Seal and the goblins holed up in the mines. Times are hard for a working girl, to tell you the truth. But where would I go? There's danger to be found everywhere these days. These bedeviled days. I haven't been immaculate for a long time now, darling. And if I see what passes for immaculate here in town, I don't want to join the club anew either. Give me fun, not fanaticism. Give me zeal, not zealotry. These people, I honestly don't know what has gotten into them.
Do you have sunburn, or are you always this hot?
Okay, well, I think we talked to everyone in the inn, so
Come hither, sweetheart.
I'm going to end this episode here. I think next time we'll pick up and explore the rest of town. It looks smaller than Seal, thankfully. And then after that we can go check out, I think we'll probably look at the witch's cabin first. Unless we find something that sounds more appealing. Anyways, I'll see y'all next time.